Hello, everybody. It's a special edition of My Two Loonies Worth. Your host, Mike. And I know I've been away for a while, probably too long. Getting old is my, let me tell you. I never expected that I would live the day to almost get along close to my dad's age when he died. Fine. It comes up awful quickly, doesn't it? Anyway, well, tonight I'm just going to let you know I watched the Senators play a miraculously fun game against the Boston Bruins and beat them 7 or 6 or 7 or 2. I can't remember what it was. They ended up getting 2 goals in for Boston. Quite a good performance for Boston. They just couldn't capitalize, and Ottawa were just all over them. Congrats to Ottawa, a team they're doing well this season. They had a rough start, but they're getting there. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is I got the Senators usually on for my team. So I'm hoping that maybe this might be part of my tradition, a post game thing. I might come down to do a podcast or just rap about my feelings at the time about the team and my general feelings about life. Anyway, fall's coming up. We're starting into the fall season now, and daylight savings time's coming up pretty soon. So we're gonna have to go back to. Actually, we're going back to Eastern Standard Time. We're actually no, so daylight savings is ending, and we're coming back to Eastern Standard Time on a lovely Tuesday, November. What day? 27th, coming near the end of the month. Birthday's coming up for me, born March 19th. So anyone that is having a birthday coming up this next month there, hope a happy birthday. Everybody's out there getting old, us old people getting older and older. Seems like every time I look at the ads on the Facebook or something like that, there's always someone that I know or know of that's famous, especially who has passed away recently. Becoming kind of a theme as we get older. The old stars being replaced with the new ones. The old people are being replaced with the young people. Just the cycle of life, or as I like to call it, the circle jerk of life, if you want to be more precise about it. But you know what? That's okay. I've come to terms with it, and I had a good life. Maybe not the best life. Could have better. Could have had worse. But it is life. I hope to make the remaining years I have left as fun and exciting as I possibly can, and just hope to enjoy every day. Maybe be able to get up a little earlier and get a little bit more done during the daytime instead of spending so much time sleeping. So, on that note, I'm here. Like I say, I'm hoping to make this a more regular thing again. I really haven't been on top of it. I'm not wearing my Live 200 jersey because I have to prefer a new one. As you close, if you see the corner of the screen, there's a new logo screen that's produced by my brother Kevin and myself. Hoping that to be that be close to or will be the official logo for the channel. Along with having to hopefully have him design a channel for the new channel, All Wiseworth, which will be the hopefully replacement channel for this for the long form videos I used to do, where I get to do things like talk about topics in more detail, express my own feelings about it. Hopefully, eventually have guests on that channel as well, so we can discuss the topics at hand and get other perspectives besides my own. Anyway, since you only have me here tonight, I'm just gonna let you know that I'm back. I'm not gone away yet. For the few viewers that are still on my channel, hope to see thank you to them. I hope you like, comment, subscribe on this, and hope to see you contact interacting in this channel, or you can email me at info@intimemedia.ca and hopefully get your inputs and ideas in that about things, whether you like the show or whether you don't like the show. Either way, either one of those inputs is fine. Negative and positive input is better than no output. At least I know people are watching that if there's people actually responding to it. Anyway, hope to be back to work again doing my favorite thing, advertising, which is the thing that really pays for this channel as far as existing and everything I do. Is me doing advertising for one of my media clients. I never thought that I'd be doing this, a job I used to do when I was a kid, delivering newspapers, now just delivering advertising. Who knew? Who knew that would be the long term profession me for most of my life, delivering something for somebody? But I guess we need to just do what we have to do, as all of us have to do. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there right now that would be glad to have any sort of job right now, given the state of our economy. And what is our economy? What is happening to it? Why are things going so terribly wrong? It's because we let people run our things for us. Sometimes those people are competent, sometimes they're not. And the only problem is that the larger the bureaucracy, the more complex the bureaucracy, the more people get to fuck it up. And the rest of us have to live with the consequences of it. But it happens on either side. when the liberals win big, the conservatives are upset about. When the conservatives win big, the liberals are upset about. You're never going to please everybody. No government. That's why the governments keep going back and forth because it's a pragmatic thing. Some people think we're too liberal. Some people are conservative. Some people think we don't know. It's like the little story of Three Little Bears. But the girl goes to the first bed and says it's too hard, and the first bed is too soft, and then the third bed. That's kind of like government. Except think of the Little Bears. Every single vote there, each finding a different effing bed to be the one they love, and none of them will choose the same bed. At least none of them in a large group consisting will choose. There'll be clusters, I'm sure. I should say there should be clusters of them that choose the same bed for various different reasons, but ultimately there'll be always some that'll choose one of the three beds, which is just the way life works. That's just the way it is. That's why you got all this variety in food and all this variety in movies and all this variety in everything, because no two people have the same feelings or thoughts or preferences as another one. We have similarities, and that's why we collect by. We try to collect by our collective similarities to try and find groups and clusters of people that have those similarities. But ultimately, we're all individuals, and we all have our own unique styles, feelings, emotions, and preferences. So, when you keep that in mind, think about when your friends and neighbors that may not necessarily agree with you. Think about your friends and neighbors that may not like you. Think about why they may choose not to like you. And is it a really valid reason? Or is it just personal preference? Do they choose not to like you for whatever reason? It does not make any logical sense to anyone else except them. But you know what? As much as people might not like you or hate you, or you might not like them, the thing is, at the end of the day, you have to still have to find a way of living together. And finding ways to leave your personal stamp on anything, whether it be combating racism that people talk about, I think is a bogus word. Racism. Racism is just a simple excuse for people to try and classify everyone in a specific group based on a specific characteristic that can be measured and visible. In the end, we're all people. We all deserve respect, basic respect. But what we don't all deserve is kindness. Some people are cruel. Those people don't deserve kindness, but they deserve our pity. You might not necessarily want to be kind to them, but they deserve our pity because we want to understand what the reasons it is they are so cruel. Is it because of their past life? Is it because of the way they lived? Is it where they lived? It caused them to have this level of kindness or cruelty or disrespect or dislike for certain people. The fact is, you can't always know that. And you can't always assume just because one person belongs to a certain group by a quality that you can measure or see that they necessarily have those qualities in them, or they don't have the qualities that maybe ones that are more preferable, like philanthropy and kindness and sharing and love. You only get back what you give out. It's simple. You want kindness, you need to exude kindness, even to those that are unkind to you. The thing is, once you do that enough, those types of people end up trying to wonder why is it suddenly you're kind to them? Why? Because why are you, after the meanness they're giving to you, are you still kind to them? That you still either not pity them, but you're I think the best word for it, you're empathize with them. You're not willing to let them and their attempt to try and establish hate and meanness for whatever reason because they need to have you hate them because they can justify them hating you. You need to disarm that. If more of us actually spent more time attempting to not arm, not empower, or even to disarm unkindnesses with some sort of respect, kindness, or understanding, at least. You can't do any of the other ones. What happens eventually? Those people end up finding that they have no power anymore. Wars are only powered by the fact we're scared. Hate is only powered by those that are allowed to be empowering either words or actions and show offense to them in a way that makes people that say these and do these things coward. Sometimes you just have to learn to turn the other cheek. It's hard, but the fact is, eventually, what happens eventually is those people certainly learn that there's no power anymore. And then once they learn there's no power anymore, they either have to reform themselves and figure out how to get along because it's a waste of time, it's a futile effort. Sometimes you need to, let's say you do a behavior that you're not reciprocating it. Or they'll eventually have to just figure another way of coming at you until you do give in. Hopefully, in the end, kindness, gentleness, compassion, caring will prevail. But for now, they're not going to, so we just keep on striving to meet that very desperate goal in life of to do good. At least do good for the people we care about, the community people we live in, for the province where we live, municipality, province, the country we live in, and the world we live in. And don't always jump to the conclusion that just because somebody has said something is hateful to you or that's perceived hateful to you, that you all of a sudden have to reciprocate it back with hate on return. Hate only brings hate. It always does. So, on that note, be kind to even the people you be compassionate to people. Attempt to be understanding of why it might be that they do hate. Not necessarily you personally, or maybe some group or association you belong to. And wishing death on others is not the way to get people to understand. It's not the way to get people to change. All it does is incite other people to think the same about you. And really, you haven't accomplished anything, have you? For that person dying, if that group is such a large group and those beings are so prevalent and strong, that person dying is not going to stop the movement. Sometimes instead, that motivates the movement to go even further. It creates the idea of martyrs. And martyrs exist on both the left hand side of the political spectrum as well as the right hand side of the political spectrum. Just that the left hand side doesn't think the right hand side's people they claim are martyrs, and vice versa. I wonder why. The same. I don't like to believe that I'm either left or right. I believe that I'm a libertarian. I believe that the right to liberty and happiness, but we also have to have laws, rules, and be able to have some sort of disciplined society so that we get along. Otherwise, we just get anarchy. Anarchy, let's face it, is not any better than what people think we have now. But that doesn't mean that what we have now can't be better. So that's what I'm going to say. All of us strive for a better world where we become more compassionate and understanding of others. We do what we can to make our mark on the world. Whether other people do it and follow along, that's not up to them. That's their cross to bear. That's their thing they're going to have to deal with. You can only take responsibility for yourself. You cannot take responsibility for others' reactions. All you can do is take responsibility for your own. So on that note, I hope to leave this broadcast. I hope you enjoyed what I had to talk about tonight, and hope I didn't get into too much of a rambling diatribe because I didn't have a scripted speech for this one. This is sort of spontaneous one I'll come back to because I want to get back on this channel and start producing some content. Hopefully, it'll be more talking about more relevant things in the world. I'm not going to necessarily be like everyone else, commenting on specific events in the world because there's already enough people doing that. That ground is already covered by a lot of other people. They don't need another one, another talking head saying the same thing over and over again. Because I've noticed I've watched a lot of channels lately, and a lot of channels are basically duplicating, especially with political channels. They're basically reporting the same story, maybe from a different point of view, but at the end, it's not the stories that are important. It's how we react as human beings to our personal situation in our own area of our life, within our own confines of where we exist, and how that expands to the greater expanse of the world that we live in, and how we use that to get along with the people we're closest to and understand the people that we don't know understand, figure out if there's some way of figuring things out that makes more sense. So on that note, like, comment, subscribe. I'm Mike, and this is my Two Letters Up for Tuesday, October 27th. And I'm recording it at late night tonight, so it's 11 o'clock, going on 5 after 11 now, so I'm hoping to post this tonight. If not, I'll put it on for Wednesday sometime, so it should be available Wednesday. And I'm going to be putting on a few platforms. I usually put it on Rumble, I put it on YouTube, and a couple other platforms. I put it on locals, and usually post a posting that says link to it on Facebook, X, and other platforms. I hope you get to see me. I'm Mike. This is my Two Loonies work for another week. Hopefully there'll be another broadcast this week, and maybe one next week and the week after. That's the goal. Anyway, you stay special, take care of yourselves and your friends, Take care. Good night. Bye for now.